call to order, right? Approval of minutes. Mike,
I can make a motion.
I second that.
Perfect.
I can do, okay.
Yep. Yes, you can. Yep.
Any visitors? See,
We have no visitor comments that I'm aware of today, and there's none
Okay.
online.
old business, traffic calming, pedestrian safety features.
Thank you. I have been in contact with Captain Perks, and so I'm going to be chatting with him about our Traffic Advisory Commission and some of their efforts, and then also what Public Works has on hand. So we're putting together a small plan. Again, this is temporary features, you know, in the middle of the crosswalk thing that stands up and down type of thing, or signage and such, pending obviously next year's work on Big Bend, but to have county approve that, you know, so that we can put those things out and have no issues with county, and then you know, try to add for our summer visitors here some semblance of extra safety and security. Now, again, I'll be the first to say that no different, as we all know, and as Sergeant Flannery has heard many times, you know, there are, whether or not signs get obeyed is another story. But the point of these temporary measures is simply to add some, you know, some steps in that, you know, can help hopefully slow people down around those turns and those areas of where people are crossing.
All right. We might, anything else to that? Yes. Rooftop lighting.
We have one quote back. It came back on, it was just for the Hagan properties, those 4 buildings that Mr. Hagan, who was here down closer to you, Holland. I cannot remember the addresses off the top of my head. It was incomplete. They put in the installation price, but didn't bid the electrical service. They didn't bid the actual electric service piece. It's very comparable to where we've been with Strive, but I've got 2 other companies going to be bidding that. So they'll complete those quotes and get them back. And then Holland, Stride called me the other day out of the blue to follow up on your repair request that I made months ago. So I'm calling them later today. They called when I was on the road, and so I will see, you may end up with Stripe there this week to fix the lights and get them all pulled up tight on top of the building.
Great, thank you.
No problem. I'm sorry it's taking forever, and
You're doing what you can.
so that's my update on that, Bob.
Okay. Gazebo series update. Looks like we got all the bands in line. Starting August 18th. Anything else, Fran, on that we need?
Graphics are being updated as we speak. And so we're just on to asking for money.
All right, well, that's we're way ahead of the game, it seems like. Those, we have this, what this lineup is here, if anybody's interested, but we're all set. New business.
So, Mr. Chair, I just wanted to bring up one thing. It's crazy that we're just getting into May, and I want to talk about Christmas already, but this is the time to start talking about Christmas. Obviously, the tree in Gazebo Park is going to, the tree that we historically light is, I would expect our arborist to be telling us we're taking that tree out soon. So I anticipate that we'll have a replacement tree of some size, not certainly the size of the one that is currently there, being planted this year. But we did talk about last year the potential of, do we, for a couple of years while a tree gains enough mass to be a big tree, do we try to go to I don't know, a ground lighting setup of some type, or decorate some of the smaller trees in the park and such for Christmas? I bring that up because between that and then you do have, and you're very lucky, the new light poles down by Holland's Way that are part of the streetscape have power on them. And if you are interested in going to adding some lighted decorations on the poles, you know, a star, a candy cane, or a sleigh, or a Santa, or something like that, you know, those are things that we can add in with power now, because there is power on those poles for some decorations. I think a couple other business districts would be very envious, but I wanted to bring it up because you have that option. And so, because now's the time to start looking at quoting and ordering. You don't need to make any decisions, but I just need to know whether or not I should be spending some time trying to pull those, get some quotes and some ideas together on holiday decorations in that regard.
But right now, we'll just be doing the banners that we have that,
Yeah, that's correct. And we'll, you know, if the tree is still there or the smaller tree, we will still plan to have a tree lit in Gazebo Park, you know, and do a lighting ceremony and such like that. But we, you know, given the size of it may be smaller, as obviously we can't, you know, put a whole grown pine tree in there, you know, that's massive. You know, what do we want some other ground decorations, right? You know, some, you know, the sleigh with the reindeer type of thing or whatever, you know, across Gazebo Park, sort of on the ground level. So those are some of the options. Again, just very, very early on, but I wanted to know whether or not we should be looking at some of those items and getting some quotes and ideas pulled together for you all.
I think some kind of lighting would be good. I don't know how you go about it, just say, hey, you know, how much do we need, what we're gonna do, or,
Well, I mean, literally, we get catalogs like this 13 times a week. So, you know, trust me, everyone wants to sell us Christmas decorations. So
I love a good star or a candy cane. So, you know, if we're voting, you know, in May.
right. Well, I mean, and they have everything, and I'm not suggesting moving to an over the street type of thing, but I mean, there are you can do over the street lit happy holidays, you can do all sorts of things. I guess what I'm hearing, I think I'm hearing is folks, you know, you have the opportunity to do some things. Should we look at it, we can certainly put together some ideas and come back to, you know, in June and July. And so we could hopefully have them in place. You know, that's my biggest fear, is always making sure to get the order done so that we can have them here. So.
yeah, I think it'd be a good idea to do something, and then, you know, if we add to it the following year or whatever, but, you know, I don't know if people would vandalize like a sleigh, get
Ground
pulled by
displays, yeah.
reindeer or something, but, there's a good chance it could happen.
Yeah.
It's on the ground,
Yep.
but, or maybe something near the top of the gazebo or something like
Sure.
that, you're flying over.
Mhm. Yep.
I think we should try to pick something out next meeting and get a
Okay,
couple things there.
we can do that.
Right,
I'll put together some ideas and some options.
okay. BDC update?
We have a great deal going on with BDC. Next Wednesday is our business coffee. I think many of you may have had a drop off from a couple of our BDC members of the flyer, and you should have gotten it through email from Fran. But the coffee is Wednesday at 8:30 at the rec center. The RSVP is on the QR code there, or you can RSVP on the city website. That's where it takes you to Eventbrite. We encourage folks to show up. This is going to be sort of a follow-up to that roundtable we had at Webster University. Excuse me, not Weber's, Webster University. As a follow-up to that, it's really a question of, you know, the things we're doing, are they working? Are they helpful? And then I think there's some other stations that'll be there, the Green Dining Initiative. You know, what do we do for, you know, in terms of the city, if we had a position in relation to business outside of just what I do for you all, but if there is a dedicated business or economic development type of position, what should they do? What should they work on? Those types of things. So the BDC is really seeking input in that relation, in that way. And then also really wants to use it as a way for coffee, you know, seriously a way for people to mingle. So this is not, you know, one person in a lecture hall. This is stations with, you know, coffee and donuts and such to go around. And we're an Old Orchard business. The Annex is our coffee and beverage provider. And so we will be supporting our local own in that. Did I miss anything, Fran?
Nope.
There we go.
City update.
Sergeant Flannery, anything from you before I go in?
Nothing for me.
All right. So Councilwoman Richardson couldn't be with us today. We're in the middle of city budget time, so I encourage you all, if you have any questions about the budget for the city, feel free to go to the website or reach out, webstergrovesmo.gov/budget. There is also coming up Tuesday is the council meeting where they'll start their council amendments to the budget and such. Strategic planning continues at the city, and there is a strong economic development goal being built into that by the city council. And so that will be critical for the business community and the business districts. What are we doing tactically to support that goal and to really strengthen the business climate and and to maximize for the public good and for the business owners good, the climate that we have here in Webster Groves. And then there's one more thing I wanted to talk about. I can't remember, but that's those are the big ones that are coming up, and obviously heading towards the summer. And so you'll, I don't know when lawn chairs will start going out for the 4th of July, but we're already starting to talk about all that and get all that squared away. So, oh, Arts Fair. Arts Fair is first week in June. Their permit has come through, so they'll be at Eden. But given the proximity to Old Orchard, wanted you all to know that we do fully expect the art fair at Eden in normal course, as always happens. So,
Oh, good. All right. Next meeting, June 13th. This could be a record time to get out of here. June 13th, and then a motion for adjournment.
I can make a motion.
Second.
All right,
all right.
nice. Good job. Thanks, Eric.
Yeah.